Well, I wasn't gonna make a video tonight. I'm all hot and sweaty. I got up at 2 in the morning and drove across Wyoming to Laramie. But I really wanted to address this. It's really bothering me. I just saw a video that Lindsay made about her experience, and I wanted to talk a little bit about one of my experiences when I was at the Capitol. And that is hearing what appeared to be autogynephilic males who are identifying as females complain about not feeling safe. And I can't even tell you how irate that makes me feel. Um, they have no idea, apparently, what it's like to be a woman, and that oftentimes we women don't feel safe. And yet, their complaints about not feeling safe are responded to. Um, it's like society is jumping to accommodate them so that they feel safe. But all these, all the cries of women that we don't feel safe are completely ignored. And now we have to deal with the government saying that they're supporting these endeavors. A number of executive orders and policies have come out so that these men are feeling entitled. And when I was at the Capitol, I didn't want to use the bathroom because there were so many trans identified men there. And I didn't want to risk running into one because A, I ignore it and I feel like crap because a male has invaded my space and I don't feel safe. B, I say something, I might get beat up or I'll get vilified or nothing will happen and my power is gone. Or most likely, the man who I report ends up being portrayed as the victim, and I get portrayed as the villain in this whole narrative. And I am sick of it. I am sick of the fact that society is clamoring to respond to these men when they say they don't feel safe. Whereas when we say we don't feel safe, we're called bigots, we're called Nazis, we're called TERFs, we're threatened with rape, we're threatened with death. This is just really magnifying the misogyny that we feel all the time, and the fact that we really are just not safe and nobody seems to care. And I don't want to get into this poor me victim mentality because I don't think that's particularly healthy. But I want to call on women to come up with a plan so that we have a plan of action for when we run into these men in our bathrooms, so that we have a plan in mind that we can rehearse, maybe role play, maybe practice. Because so many of us have been taught not to make a ruckus. We don't want to make a noise. We don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. So we don't say anything. And as we continue to not say anything and not push back on this, they are encroaching more and more into our spaces. Pretty soon, there will be no women's spaces. There will only be gender neutral or, open spaces. And the whole reason that we have women's spaces is that we need them to stay safe. This is taking away our safety net. And it doesn't matter if there are some women who say it's okay. They don't get to consent for us. They don't get to consent by proxy. The only consent that matters is our consent. And if we say no, that needs to be respected. Even if there are 100,000 women who say it's okay, if there's one woman who says no, her consent needs to be respected. So I just am calling on everybody out there who's watching this to brainstorm ideas, because I feel like we really need to push back in order to maintain our spaces now more than ever with all these policies that are being enacted. And we need to teach our children, because girls now are going into schools where their rights and protections are not being respected. And boys are told that they are perfectly welcome in these spaces, and that anybody who pushes back on them is transphobic, hateful, bigoted, and deserves the wall. They're basically suggesting we deserve to die for trying to protect our spaces. They're saying we deserve to be brutally raped, tortured, and then die. We need to push back, and we need to push back now.